Hello everybody, welcome to another video. So I recently did a video about the positives on my visual impairment, which please go check that out. I will link it below. I feel like this is the logical next step because even though there's a bunch of enjoyment I found out of my disability and that I think it's really important because society doesn't view it that way. They view it more in a negative way. I still think it's important, not just for me, but also my blind community. The struggles or frustrating parts of it, because one, in a way, it's not going to be able to create change. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Whatever your situation may be. I don't want people to look at this video and think I am going for attention. No, that's not my intention at all. I don't want sympathy at all. All I'm sharing is just my experiences and just my struggles, so people understand that it's just okay to be frustrated about it because we all struggle in one significant way or the other. So the first thing is, this is the big one, not being able to drive. This is the big one. It's hard because sometimes I have to rely on my parents to drive me places, which are don't worry, they're good about driving me places when I need to. But I'm good with setting up transportation and I'm fine with how it is, but it's hard sometimes because I've had times with this ADA service I use. I still have it just in case if I need it again, where this person took me to another town that wasn't too far. It was in the area, but just a little far, and took this one person home first when I was literally down the street from where I was. It was a volunteer reason, and I was very, very frustrated, and even my parents too, and we've filed complaints of other transportation options for myself. I do have Uber. Also a fixed line scheduled bus that comes near my house down the street every day. I do have another taxi cab, which I'm not going to say because I don't want to reveal what area I'm in, because that's private. It's just more convenient because you can schedule your ride the day of and this particular service, and they'll just take you to where you need to go. They'll come literally 20 minutes later because they live in this, they're from this area that I'm in, that I live in. It's a little pricey, but I'd rather get somewhere on time. So yeah, that's more convenient. Plus I like to be on time. It's a job, or maybe on time for a doctor's appointment. That could be frustrating too. I want to be early, but I don't want to be too early. That's one of the hardest things about not driving. You just have to wait for them to come back to pick you up, take you to your place, and you might be late for it. Some other people may be on the similar time frame, which is also frustrating too. It's one of those times where I'm just God, I wish I could just drive. But I'm okay with it. It's just hard sometimes. Another one is people viewing me differently in this society, because unfortunately there's such a big lack of education, I should say, on disability, and just it's so it's such a big negative impact because we've been portrayed historically as one way, that we are incapable, that we are mentally incapable, and that we just sit around at home staring at a wall and not doing anything. But I say that's not true, but it's just hard sometimes when people unfortunately sometimes I feel I always have to be the one educating people. Yes, I love that, that's my passion on this channel, but and just sharing my life with people, but it's just I really, what I want from people, not just for the inspiration, I really love when people are inspired by me, but what I want the general public to understand by us is that we are here to fight for equality and to educate all of you guys. And I highly encourage you to please do your research. It's important because, and I also link resources down for you sighted people out there that watch this and want to know more, because unfortunately there's a huge lack of education. Even though there's federal laws passed here in the United States, the Americans with Disabilities Act is a federal law in the United States that was passed in 1990. Unfortunately, 31 years later, we still face discrimination. People are also scared. They don't want to offend us, so they don't say anything. Part of our senses is compromised, unfortunately, and it's just frustrating sometimes when people stand in our way, and we know what we're capable of. I know what I'm capable of. Maybe if the whole medical field thing doesn't work out, maybe I can do something with like maybe filming or editing social media content or something, because I'm really good with it. I love doing that. I don't know. Maybe even like do something like teach like blind visually impaired children Braille or something, like people Braille, because I'm really good with teaching Braille, and like I'm very maybe people about service dogs, like I don't know, maybe things like that. Like I have some options on me and some good outlets I have for my life, like as maybe that could be like, if the medical field thing does work out, maybe I can like choose does this like maybe side things, I don't know, but that's just like there's some options I have. People think that like my disability is just a troubling thing, like they view it as like something that needs to be cured and fixed, and we focus so much on the medical model of disability, which before you get offended, it is coming from a good place. Don't get me wrong. For those that do want a cure for their disability, it's fine. You can go for it. I respect that. But like, not everybody needs one. Not all of us need full eyesight. I don't need full eyesight. I accept my life the way it is. And I simply can't change that. Like, I do think it's good to hope for a cure, but like, you don't know what the future holds for you. And you never know if scientifically possible there could ever be a cure, because there's a ton of different eye diseases or retinal diseases out there. Some that are progressive, some that are like, there's a ton of different forms of the same disease that like me with ROP and someone else with it. Because we all have different vision loss experiences or just vision problems. It's good to hope, but not be so desperate for one, because being desperate for something that's not living life at all. I don't want to live life like that. I want to be positive and embrace my life. It's how I chose to be. It's just hard sometimes when people get offended or confused on why I don't want to be quote unquote cured or changed. It could be hard because it's controversial and people view it differently. I've never been discriminated against a lot, but like I'm just saying, like I know it might happen in the future. Like even though like I'm always positive about things, like it could be hard sometimes, because like it could be scary to advocate for like my human rights. But unfortunately, even though like people say like by law like you can't do this, it does not stop people from doing it, unfortunately, because sometimes people question our disability, or like they don't believe us. They think that we're faking it or trying to invalidate it just because they quote unquote don't see it, or I don't look disabled or blind. But yeah, like that could be that just can be challenging sometimes. And I'm not a guy that likes to be confrontational. I don't like confrontations. Like, and that's like, I don't want to argue with people. I'm empathetic towards people. I'm nice to people. I was raised to be a nice person, but it could just be difficult sometimes when people just discriminate against us and they view us like, because like I said, like there's such a big lack of education and understanding on disability, and we're often overlooked, and we are often, the media portrays us only in one historic way, which is not true. It just frustrates me. Oof, this is going to be a big one, but I don't normally talk about this, but being more at risk of being a target, like being more vulnerable in some situations. Like, I don't touch on this a lot on my channel because I'm always positive on here. Scary, it's a very, it hits hard. It hits very hard, and it's a very scary reality, because unfortunately, even with my white cane and I'm confident with it, this is one of the reasons why I chose to be a guide dog user. I will feel so much safer with a giant dog with me compared to a cane, because people are going to be like, oh, I can't take advantage. Visually impaired guy, because like he's got this giant dog with me here that I don't want to get attacked or bit by. Because like because when people see a dog, they're like, oh, I can't take advantage of this person. Because like dogs are very protective of their owners. It doesn't matter what the breed is. Dogs are just generally protective of their owners. They love them. And that's what I love about dogs. Like, they're protective of you. I'll feel so much safer and more prepared for it. Because if my new guide dog needed to attack, he would. Because it's not only going to be my eyes when my guide dog comes, but it's also going to be my security. My body's security guard. Which is nice. Like with a cane, I wouldn't feel as safe with it, because I'm 5'7" tall. I feel more vulnerable, like not feel just as safe, like whatever situation. It's just difficult sometimes, or maybe be taken advantage of, unfortunately. So yeah, like that's some of the negatives on my disability. Like I said, I don't want this to be for attention. I don't want this for sympathy. I am simply explaining how I feel on the struggles of my disability, because I feel like it's important to just, I feel like it's just the logical next step, because when all of us struggle with something in life, and no, I am not perfect. I want to be just simply expressing my struggles on something significant in my life, and I feel like it's important to show that so people understand. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Comment, like, and subscribe, and that'll be it. See you guys in the next video. Bye.